Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well on this Monday evening. I hope it's all working for me. Oh, it looks like it is. Who knows? Honestly, Facebook's been a bit tricky these days. It's very hit and miss, but it looks like it's fine. So I'll keep quiet for the time being while it's still working. Right, let me get my my screen up. It says I'm live. So let's turn the sound down. Ooh, nearly caught her talking. And I'm going to put her over here so I can see comments, and hopefully it'll show me the comments and I won't need to keep coming in and out. I've got comments on my screen, which is promising, but who knows if that's going to stay. Anyway, good evening. For those of you that have joined me early, you'll notice that the little quiltet behind me is our 12 days of summer, Flowers in the Sunshine. It's called Flowers in the Sunshine. And in our Creative Friends group from the 21st of July, yes, July to think then, we are going to be stitching this for 12 consecutive nights. So you have to be a creative friend, mind you. You can't, it's not going to be on here. It's not going to be for the public. It's just for my friends, like you do. And yeah, so I've kind of finished putting the top together today. So that's what it looks like. I can't see all of it because there's bits up there you can't see, but it's the same as that bit down there. Yes, I did, Shirley, thank you for asking. I'll perhaps tell you a little bit about that. So you can see the majority of it. I'm not going to, well, obviously you can see I've not put sashing on it, and I'm not going to put borders on it. I toyed with the idea this afternoon, but I want it really, I want it a simple finish. I want a simple finish on it. But yeah, so I'm really quite happy with how it looks. Might not look so bright on your screen as it is in real life. These things don't, do they? Oh, let me just switch my phone off. There we are. Yeah, these things don't, do they? They never look as bright. But it's a nice make. I did some before my holiday in Helensburgh, 4 weeks ago now, and Kath helped me with some while we were on that weekend retreat, sewing away, and I finished it off when I came home, in between my holiday and what have you. I finished it off, and so now all I'm going to do is quilt it and bind it, and then it's done. And that's our sample. So when we do the 12 days of summer, which is Flowers in the Sunshine, I must use the title, but I also need you to know it's 12 days of summer. I'm kind of torn between the two. Oh, was that a fly? I don't like fly. Yes, when I do it with you on the 12 days, I know I'm not in my group now, I know I'm on my page, but I know that a lot of my creative friends join me here on my page. So yeah, when we do it live for those 12 consecutive nights, I will be making another one. I know, who put my name down for that? I did think about actually joining it on all the way around, so I get more blocks, and I thought, nah, I'll just make another one, that'll be fine. Yeah, it's going to be fun, Chris, isn't it? And oh, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, it's quite bright. It's a bit brighter even further down. And I've got an orange. This is supposed to be pink tones, and I've got an orange tone as well. It's really nice. But it does, when I wear one and then I wear the next one, the other one, then it looks like I've got the same top on, and you think, oh, people are going to think I haven't washed. But I have. Well, you know, when I think about it. Yeah, so thank you for that. Do you know what? So far I've got comments on my screen, which is very exciting. How's Millie? Millie's going, thank you Maggie for asking. Millie's going for a operation on Friday. She has a tumour on her leg, which we're very hopeful that it'll all be removed and it'll come back benign. We could have had it tested and gone to a lab, although the vet tested there and she said it was a tumour. She couldn't say whether it was benign or not, so it could have been sent off to a lab and then they would have told us, and then we could have made whatever decision from there. But I sort of said to John, you know what, let's just get it done. Let's just get that tumour off her leg. I don't think it's bothering her. When we've been on holiday, thank you, Peter. I hope Elaine joins in as well. Yeah, I'm hoping that she does. We were talking about flowers in the sunshine. Yeah, so I'm rather hoping that they can just take it away and that's the end of it. Whether it's benign or whether it's nasty, whatever it is, let's just say, right, we're going to operate, let's get rid of it. And the same happened when I had a lump in my neck. I discovered a lump in my neck, this is 7 or 8 years ago now. I like telling the story though. I discovered it in the January, and I could feel it. It wasn't a pea. Let's put it that way. It's probably a marble. So I could feel it, and I thought, that's a bit strange. I'll keep my eye on that. So every now and again, every few days, I'd touch it, and it would be getting bigger. By the time I went to I saw the nurse practitioner. I think it was possibly end of February, beginning March. It was massive. It had really, really grown quickly. And we decided to go along, get it all tested and things like that. And they did lots of biopsies. They did scans, they did this, that and the other. And they could not decide what it was. They said it was a tumour, but they couldn't decide whether it was benign or whether it was something grotty. So the last visit when I saw the consultant, he said, right, we've done it. It was about 6 weeks on. I've been to the hospital every week for about 6 weeks, which is fantastic, isn't it? And the consultant said, right, he said, you've got 2 choices. He said, we can do another biopsy and it can be sent to Addenbrooke's, because I'm in Suffolk, and they've got more specialist equipment. He said, or we can just take it out. And I said, just take it out. I said, because you'll do a biopsy and then maybe you'll come back and say, oh, we're not sure. So let's cut to the quick. Let's just literally, let's have it taken out. So that's what they did, and they cut me from here all the way around here. Honestly, I have got a massive scar. You can hardly see it, I must be honest. It's absolutely brilliant, very, very neat. And anyway, they took it out, and by then it was 5 centimetres long. Now, if they tested it and it had been benign, well, they wouldn't take it out, would they? They would not take it out, because it then end up being like a cosmetic thing. And although I wasn't thinking of that, in retrospect, that's what I've been thinking. I thought, hold on a minute, if it had gone to Addenbrooke's and they had tested it and it had proved to be benign, I'd be living with this lump, and that had grown big. It was growing so fast, and by now it would be out here somewhere, and you see it on the TV, don't you? I thought, I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be one of them. So they did take it out, but it was a lot bigger operation than I anticipated. I had no idea. When I went in, I'm a bit, oh yes, let's just get on and do it. I had no idea what they would do, and of course, yeah, in hindsight, I perhaps should have been a little bit more prepared. I wasn't prepared at all. And I think I had it on the Friday, they let me out Saturday lunchtime, and Abigail and I went on the train to Newton Aycliffe, to the Crafters Companion HQ, to do some demos or something, I can't remember. And I remember the doctor saying to me when he let me go, he said, now I want you to spend the next couple of days just resting, put your feet up, you've had a major operation and blah blah blah. And there's me trolling it off in the train. I did feel a bit funny though. I did feel a bit faint a couple of times. Honestly, ridiculous. But I have no concept of the consequences. I have no concept of that at all. I just took the bull by the horns, as they say. So anyway, let's just see if I can get some comments up here. I can see loads of comments on here. I'm wondering if I can see them on my screen. I'm not sure. But good evening to everybody that's watching and having to listen to all my drivel just then, because I just oh, Pat says she's on the road, but will enjoy riding along with all of you. Excellent. Poor Millie, hope she's not in pain. I don't think she is, Judith. I don't think she is. We talked to the vet about that, and yeah, and it hasn't irritated. You know, she hasn't been sort of licking it or gnawing at it. That would have been dreadful. She might break the skin. Ugh. I know, Kath. I know. You know me well enough. So I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But anyway, she's only got a few days, and then she'll all be sorted, and she'll have the cone of shame, won't she? Oh, that will really irritate her. Never mind Millie. It's John and I what we're going to go through. She'll be fine. Honestly, I'm sure she'll be fine, and I'll let you all know, because you've all got to know Millie in one way or another over the years. She's 12 and a bit now, so she's getting on a bit. We did have a nice holiday, thank you, Karen. It was absolutely fabulous. We had sunshine. Well, it was a tiny tad bit chilly up in Cumbria the first few days, what have you, but then that's to be expected. We're a little bit further north. And but really we didn't have any rain, which is amazing, because normally it pours down when we're on holiday. And we had lovely weather, and we went to Keswick, which is just my favourite place in the world. We went to a place called, well, going out we went to Castleton. If you've ever been there, you'll know that that's a lovely place as well. Then we went to Tea-Based Services, which is a must. They had some camphor pieces there. Oh, I was nearly tempted, but I thought, no, I've got a cupboard full of camphor pieces, for goodness sake. Then we went to Keswick and had some days there, which was just wonderful. Then we came down to this place called Wharfdale. I think that's just the name of the site. I'm not sure, but it's near Skipton. It's literally 5 miles from Skipton. Stayed there. That was super. We're definitely going to go back there again. And then over to Sutton-on-Sea, which is one of my favourite places, where we actually broke Millie. we walked her too far, and we knew as we were doing it, it was too much. She's an old girl, and it was about 3.5 miles, and it was all promenade and paving, you know what I mean? It was too much for her, too hard, and we were very, very cross with ourselves. She was, you know what a dog's like, they follow you to the ends of the world, and she did, and she was all right, but we broke her. So the next day we all stayed near the van. We didn't go, I didn't go to my special shop, which I always go to. We'd been to the beach with Millie, and she absolutely loves the beach, so we'd done all that. So we said, right, we'll just have a day around the van having an ice cream. And it was super. It was the last day, and it was just super. And the whole thing, it was the one time I said to John, I really would have loved to have stayed 2 or 3 more days, and I have never done that. Never, never, never have I done that. I've always had a lot of work to do, so I'm always thinking, oh, I must get home to do this, I must get home to do that. But you know, life for me is a little bit more slow paced, and so I didn't have to rush, I didn't have to do that. So, but we didn't stop, as it happens. Yeah, so we did have a lovely time. Anyway, oh, let's have a look. Judith says her daughter, she had a lump on her neck and was benign, and they wouldn't take it out, you see. We had to pay. Yes, because it's then cosmetic, you see, Judith. Now, fortunately for me, I made that decision. Mine was benign, by the way. Fortunately, I made that decision. I said to the consultant, no, take it out, because I can't be doing with all this carry on backwards and forwards and messing about. Let's just take it out, because it didn't know what it was, and so it was justifiable. And it's only in hindsight that I thought, my goodness me, when it came back benign, and it was quite a large thing, I thought, what a fortuitous decision. I'm not saying I wasted NHS money, because I absolutely did not, because that was the decision that had to be made. But it would have cost, well, I'm sure Judith knows, it's probably cost a few thousand to get that out of her daughter's neck. Yes, but they couldn't decide whether it was benign or not, so I was kind of justifiable in a way, which I'm trying to... Yeah, anyway, it was what it was, wasn't it? There we are, that's how it is. Anyway, thank you, Carol. And Carol, you must be part of the Region 8 Quilters Guild, which I have just joined. I'm still in a quandary about it, but using my newfound status of a Quilters Guild member, I've booked myself on a Mary Macintosh workshop at Munford in Norfolk. I'm more Norfolk Cambridge than I am Suffolk, really. So that's next week, not this weekend, next weekend. That's a day mono printing, which I'm thrilled about, but I got it at a very discounted rate, which I'm thrilled about that as well. When you're an old age pensioner, you've got to watch the pennies, you know. Anyway, this evening I thought we would stitch something nice. That, oh, 1700, oh, Judith. Oh, you see, now I feel your pain. And it had to be done, didn't it? Because it would just keep on growing, benign or not. And to put on it in your neck, I mean, it's near your vocal cords and stuff, just here. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Oh, I feel your pain there. Right. I'm twittering along. Twitter. I'm sorry. Having a little chat. Well, we haven't been here for ages, have we? It feels like ages. Anyway, tonight I thought I would stitch the Easy Peasy pouch. Now, funny thing happened. I said to John earlier, I said, now I must get one. I've got 2 books, book 1, book 2. I thought I must go and find the Easy Peasy pouch in one of the books. I thought it was in book 1 and I couldn't find it. At least I've had a good flick through and I looked at the index, couldn't find it. My book 2 is alphabetical. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but it's alphabetical. And it wasn't in there. And I thought it was in one of my books. But John didn't say, well, you better do another book. He's not as foolish as that. But, yeah, so it wasn't included. I don't know why. But there we are. So we're going to make one of those up again. There is already a video to make up the Easy Peasy pouch, but it's nice to do it again. And I've got some really super fabric. So let's get started. I shall bring it onto my desk so you can have a little look-see. I don't know how close we are with the camera, so we'll have a little look. Oh, it's not too bad, is it? Let's just push my machine out of the way. So in the pattern, you get the 2 pattern pieces that you need. You get in the main body and the tabs, and you'll see how that works as we go along. And then obviously you've got the full instructions on how to put it together. Lots of pictures, and I know this looks like very little writing, but quite honestly, book 3, we need a blue colour. Nicola, behave. Actually, that is, I could, you know, anyway. I saw a pattern today being advertised, and I looked at it, and it was a complete mass of words, bits highlighted, bits underlined, and I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to read that. My brain melted just looking at it. And I know this doesn't look like a lot of words at all, but actually you need short, concise instructions. You do not need War and Peace, especially when it's something not so difficult. It's Easy Peasy pouch, clues in the title. Yeah, you don't need huge amounts of words. And anyway, you've got videos that you can watch so you know how to... is it in your book? No, it's not in my book, Karen. Unless I've completely missed it out. Or, you know, missed seeing it. But book 2 is alphabetical. And we go from D to F with no E's in book 2. And book 1 has an index. Kath and I decided that alphabetical would be better. And it's got an index, and I couldn't see it, and I did have a flick through, so I don't know, that's a really weird one, because I do love that. I love the picture, you see. It makes a good picture for a book. Yes, I know, Barbara, I think a lot of people prefer videos, but sometimes it's not always possible, is it? It's a time thing, especially for me now. I don't have that time anymore. I don't give myself that time anymore. Right, so what we've got now, I've just cut a great lump of a zip, and I think it probably says, yes, it does say in the Sorry, it's not on the screen because it's so big. It does say on the pattern how long it is a good length. You've got a couple of tabs here which I showed you the pattern piece for, and it's just a case of folding to the middle like you normally do, and then fold again, and we just need to stitch it. Okay, so we've got 2 of those either end. I don't have the original. Somebody said earlier that they'd got it from one of my sales, and her daughter has it. So I can't remember who that was now. So apologies for that. And then I've got my. I know, Wendy. It's weird, isn't it? I really thought I'd, because it's one of my favourite patterns only because I like the picture. It's very, very photogenic. Anyway, so I have cut out my main outside pieces. Look at this fabric. It's just delicious. Oh, I treated myself to something. Is it near? I can show. Yes, let me show it to you. When we went to Keswick, I go to the Hurdy shop, and I always buy a couple of mugs for John and I. And I bought a pencil case because, of course, you know, I don't know anybody that sews. But of course, it's the Hurdy. It's the Hurdy brand, isn't it? And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, fancy. You know, I bought a pen. Well, they've stitched their sewing gap. I bought a pencil case. Like, I don't know how to sew one, and I don't know anybody that does. Yeah. So, but sometimes you have to do these things. Right. So yes, my lovely fabric. Now this fabric was from the Fabric Townhouse. I don't know if they've got any more. You perhaps have to contact them if you like what you see here. So what I've done so far is I've cut out all my pieces. Here's my lining pieces, and these are my pouch pieces, the outside pieces. And I put some H640, or was it H630? 640, it's a bit thicker, on the back of both. Okay, so I've already put the wadding on, if you like. Evening, Karen. So all I've got to do is quilt these. I had been working on the quilt behind me, and that's all gold thread, of course it is, and I was tempted. I thought, no, let's be good, let's stick with the green. So I've got a kind of a greeny colour going on. So we're just going to stitch the I tell you what, before I do that, I'm going to show you how I did that. Let me just get my pen, which is somewhere around here. Here we go. So obviously I've used a friction pen. And what I wanted to do was get these diamonds, if you like, central. So it was in the centre of the pouch, yeah? So what I did was I folded my piece in half and I marked it here. Opened it up, and you can just about see, yeah, a little line, and that goes down the centre of the pouch, because this is the top, this is where the zip goes, this is the underneath bit. Okay, and I've got my 45-degree line, which is, you can just about see it there, and I popped that on the straight line here. And what I did was I made sure that this part here, where the diamond finishes, or the square finishes, is about 1/4 inch. So it that should sit not quite neatly into the seam. I'm not going to promise it's going to meet up with the other side. I mean, you know, life's too short. But yeah, so I did it so it was like that. So my 45 is going along there. And so I just then marked it, and my spacing is 2 inches, so I just kind of moved it along, drew, and so on and so forth. So that's how I got it, so those diamonds, square on point, blah blah blah, sit right in the middle. All right, just, you know, it doesn't matter. Don't lose sleep over it. But we're just going to stitch these now. Kath says, I'm a sheep sort of person if you need to gift it to someone. What does she mean? What does she mean, everybody? What does she mean saying that? I don't know. Oh dear. Right, let's get that's good for me, but I'm just going to swing that camera a wee bit, because without wriggling it too much. Let's see if I can do that. That's better. And I'm just going to move my light. There we are, that's a bit better as well. There we go. Super job. Oh, it was you, Maggie, was it? Oh, lovely. And Sarah uses it all the time. Oh, that's lovely. That's so good to hear. It warms the cockles of my heart, it does. Because I never hear what happens to the things that... Let me just sort my machine out. What's hand here? Hold on, I'll just... Oh, no, we're all right. Let's just up the stitch length a bit. Yeah, I never really hear what happens to things that people get in the sale. I don't know if they keep it or can't wait to get rid of it. Yeah, so I'm going to use my leader and follower today. And I lost my original pair of Kahana scissors, or Kahana scissors, which I was absolutely mortified about because they were lovely. So I had to buy myself a second set, which, again, I mean, ugh, you know, but I just looked after things. I'm sure it's in a bag somewhere. I probably took it in the motorhome somewhere. So I'm a bit fed up about that. So what I want to do is, oh heck, what have I done with it? It's on the end of there. What I want to do is not use my thread cutter so much because it makes such a mess. And ideally you're going to have a leader and a follower. Okay, this is a leader obviously. And your machine will run for a few stitches with no fabric in it. It creates a little chain. So if it doesn't quite go right up to the line, then don't fret. You kind of stitch in mid-air really. But it's quite a good thing to do. I've been using that quite a lot lately. Depends what you're making, doesn't it? It depends how much of a hurry you're in. Yeah. But we're not in a hurry these days, are we? Oh, my scissors match, look. How fun. Yeah, I think you just have to get into the swing of cutting and snipping and all of that sort of thing. So we've done one lot going across. You can't really see it. We'll get the iron on and then we'll iron it off. So we're just going the other way. So it's quite a fun little pouch really, isn't it, with the sheep? I thought that would be fun. I bought quite a lot of novelty fabric from Fabric Townhouse. I don't know why. I thought I would make some pouches and bits and give them away, which I probably will do. But yeah, sometimes it's fun to do something like that. Get some fabric that you wouldn't normally use. And it's quite nice. And it kind of brightens everything up, doesn't it? Now, where are we? Have I done them all? Hold on, no. Oh dear. So, has everybody been enjoying the sunshine? I do think it's a bit much. I mean, today is better, isn't it? I'm sure everybody's counting their blessings today. I think in the north of the country it's been a bit chilly, has it? You'll have to let me know because I can only rely on the BBC weather app. But for us in sunny Suffolk, it's been about 22, I suppose, which is very tolerable, isn't it? Well, for me it is anyway. So it's been fairly pleasant. Right, so we've done all the stitching on that half. I just need to take the black lines out. Yeah, you can see on the back what that looks like. Let's just take the starting threads off. That would be nice. So let's do the other side. There we go. And of course you don't have to do this quilting. This is, you know, I think it just gives it a little bit more interest. And I think on the original one I didn't do any top stitching on the zip, and so this is kind of like a replacement for that, maybe. A bit of stitching on it. But you could use a decorative stitch. Something like the serpentine stitch or a long zigzag is good for quilting, because then you can't see if you've gone a bit wriggly. You know, because we all have wriggly days, don't we? Yeah. So let's see if there's any more comments. Oh, Elaine, it definitely kept the quilt. Oh yes, Elaine, you know that that's my favourite quilt in the world. It was 12 Days of Christmas 2 Christmases ago where we did all the applique. I've got loads of pictures of everybody else's, well, and mine as well, but everybody else's ones that they made. And that was an absolute joy, and that's why I wanted to do Flowers in the Sunshine, the 12 Days of Summer in the group, because it was kind of reminiscent of that. Oh, I've gone off kilter here, as you do. Oh dear. Yeah, I know you wouldn't, Elaine. I know you treasure it, and it gives me huge amounts of pleasure to know that you've got it. Truly it does. Yeah, truly it does. So yeah, if anybody should have had that quilt, it was you. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm sorry, all my lines are a bit all over the place now because I did that one on the second row, which I shouldn't have done. Oh dear, honestly, can't make it out. Lynn, we're getting ready for Glastonbury Festival, which starts Wednesday, so not planning going anywhere near the road closures. Oh, it's near there, the road closures cause some problems. Well, I'm not surprised. Goodness gracious. I mean, that's the hugest event, isn't it? When does that start? Who's headlining? I have no idea. I don't keep up to date with things like that. Do you guys? I suppose the older you get, the more out of touch you get. You shouldn't do that though, should we? We should be on it. We should be saying to the youngsters, oh, we know all about that, don't you worry. Yes, but we tend to sort of steer away from it, don't we? We shouldn't do. We should embrace it. Right, let me just switch my iron on. Let's put it up to, have I got it on? Yeah. Yeah, it's easier said than done, isn't it? Mind you, if Dolly Parton can sing on the stage and strut her stuff, yeah, we should all be there. We should all have a retreat to Glastonbury. Can you imagine? Oof, it's the thought of the toilets. It really does. It's really the thought of the toilets that puts me off. I mean, are there any? Wow, you've got to know your limitations. Oh dear, isn't the fabric lovely? Yeah, Elaine says yes, definitely cooler today. I don't mind this weather. No, neither do I, Elaine. It's a bit more tolerable, isn't it? Right, let me just get you on the overhead again. We'll just take these lines off. I'll find my little pressing mat. Honestly, I was going to tidy my table up and I didn't give myself enough time. But there we are. That's okay. That's okay. Right, let's. It always makes a difference when you do these things, and you put the heat to it and take the lines out, and it changes it completely. Look, let's just compare. Yes, it's nice, soft quilting. That looks really hard because the black lines are still there. But it's just like magic, isn't it? How they just disappear. Absolutely fab. Right, I'm going to turn my iron off. I'm just going to check that I've done all the lines, since I was whittering. I think in fact it's easier to look at the back. Yeah, look, all done, all nice, super job. Lovely, right. Oh, we've got a pigeon. I'm going to have a quick look at the pattern, make sure I'm following it correctly. Okay, that's good. Right. Oh, Diana says she's been a couple of times, but took my own toilet. How very, very sensible of you, Diana. Yeah, I think I'd be doing the same. Yep, I think I definitely would be doing the same. Right, let me just sort this zip out. Oh, that's all got a bit discombobulated. Right, let's take this apart and just take this off, and let's rethread it. Oh, I need my other scissors for that. I thought I was going to be all well prepared with a zip slider on there, but it wasn't. I don't think it was put on there properly. So let's just put this back on. It's been a while since I've done a zip, you know, putting it on, taking it off, that sort of thing. There we go. Slide that one on, slide that one on, pinch the ends. That's more like it. That's better. Hopefully that's long enough because I just chopped a chunk off. Right, oh, Carol says, hello Lizzie and everyone, please can you tell me about more about these tiny scissors? Oh, well, they're kind of special. They're called Kahana scissors. I think, not Cabana, I think it's Kahana, C-O-H-A-N-A. And they are super tiny. And the original ones I had, it was a yellow leather case and yellow grips and a yellow tassel. This was the closest I could get to the same ones. And they're spring loaded. Okay, so you've got the little leather case to keep them in, which is so soft. It's like butter. It's like a kid's skin, really. You know what I'm saying? I'll just put that away. But they're spring loaded and they're super duper sharp. And they are, this part is made in one factory in Japan. And these are made in another factory where they make scissors and are very, very highly skilled. Excuse me. And I get mine from a company called 8 Needles. 8 as in the number 8. I'm sure it's called 8 Needles. And they're not, I mean, what are they? I think I'm going to say about £17. So they're not cheap. But they are just adorable and they just snippy off ends just beautifully. I mean, they're razor sharp. They're razor sharp. So you can have, I just have them because I love little things like that. Yeah. So, I know. Sometimes you've got to have these little things, little treats. Oh yeah, so what does this say? I was just looking at the comments. I hope I'm getting enough comments. I shall check in a sec. Oh yeah, I got about the temperature. Wendy says she feels like its temperature is only 43 degrees, 43 centigrade. What? Feels like temperature today, 43. Now, Wendy, I know you live in Canada. I think it's Canada. So is that really cold? 43. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on quick. What we need to do now is put the zip in with the lining at the same time. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pins, going to get my super pins that our lovely cat bought me. I'm going to have to start reciprocating, aren't I? All these gifts I keep getting. It's just lovely. Sport rotten. So right side down, I'm going to leave a tail. So look at it from that way. So right side down, I'm going to put the the outer to the zip first, and then I'm going to put the lining over the top. Okay. Now what you could do as you're going around here, I mean this isn't so bad, but you could put a little bit of snippage in here, right? So you could go in, and you don't want to go too far. I want you to see how far I'm going. So you could just put a little snip in, and that will help it go around the corners. Now you are not snipping any more than 1/8 of an inch. And if you're not sure what that is, look on your rulers, tape measures, whatever, because if you go any further, it could easily compromise your stitching, all right? But this will help it go around the corners just a little bit easier, okay? Not much, but a little. And we'll use the width of the zip of my zipper foot to do the stitching, which is, I think, about 3/8 of an inch. I know it is. Right, so there we go. So as you're going round now, those little splits will just open. Can you see that? Let me just bring that up. In fact, let me put it on the side camera because we're a bit nearer on the side camera. Hold on a sec. Right, so if I open that up, can you see the little snippages? Don't know if you can see that. Let's bring it right in. If I put it, there we are, you can see it now. Put it on the green instead of the orange sheep. And it's just much easier to pin. and to take it around the curves. So we'll put it on the outer fabric first, as I said, and I'm not going to use clips because sometimes clips are a bit too heavy, and although this is multiple layers, I'm preferring pins. Okay, so it might be something you want to use clips or pins. It do not matter as long as you get the job done. You could use quilter's tape, which of course is absolutely marvellous, but sometimes, you know, you just got to be careful because these particular pins are super duper sharp, so you just got to be careful. I'm not you know, I'm not really a huge pin fan, but my goodness me, they do have their uses, and these particular ones, which are Taylor Seville, are splendid. Oh, Carol says, back from our tour of Canada, the heat here was such a shock. I still feel very tired. Oh, Ontario, no, it's boiling. Oh, right. Yeah, travelling makes you very tired, Carol, and yeah, even just us in the motorhome, we were shattered when we got home. So I do apologise, Wendy. I knew you were in Canada, but I couldn't work out what for. So that must be the same as us when we say, oh, it's been 30 degrees, which it was over the weekend, 32 here. It's the same. Sorry, I take absolutely zero notice of things like that. Right, so you can see we've really pinned that on well, and it does make a difference. And what we're going to do is just pop this over the top. So we're making the quilt sandwich, yeah? So I'm just going to find the end of my pouch, which is here, and maybe I won't do all of the pins. I'll do the start and finish, so I know they're lined up. I'll do one in the middle, and then I'll stitch as I go. But I've got the main zip in place, so I'm quite happy with that. And to be honest, I'm going to stitch from the outer fabric because that's where the zip teeth are. If we were to turn that over, if we can see, the zip teeth are on facing the right side of the fabric of the outer piece, and that's where I like to stitch on the back of that, which is here. Oh, it might have been easier to show you that way, because my zipper foot will rest against the zipper teeth. The other way round doesn't work so well, so bear that in mind if you've ever had problems putting in a zip. Okay, so I'm not going to bother putting all of those pins in the lining. That would just be a waste of time. I'm quite happy with it as it is. Right, let's just bring this in. Whoops, sorry, just dropped my phone. I'm just going to see if I can get some more comments, because you know what it's like. Well, you know. Oh, Carol says, thank you, your tiny scissors are lovely. I've never seen anything like them before. Amazing. I love dinky things. Gillian says she loves the sheepy fabric. Helena says to Carol, I hope you enjoyed my part of the world. Well, when you're in Suffolk, Helena, Carol is still in your part. Well, you're in Carol's part of the world. Yeah. So maybe when you come over next time, you can meet up. In fact, we'll all meet up together if Carol's... I can't remember exactly where Carol lives, but if it's not too... Oh, I'm making an art picture of this. If it's not too far away, we can all meet up again if you come over, all right? Let's make that a date. You're not too far, Carol, are you? I'm not sure. Sure, yeah, you must be Suffolk because you're Region 8. I know these things. Right, so I'm just going to pop this under the machine. And as I say, my zipper foot is 3/8 of an inch, and it actually means that the sticky out metal bit, up this bit here, the fat bit of the foot, goes over the top of the zip teeth. That's why I like doing it that side. So let's get it so it's caught. Now I know you're not going to see very much because, you know, I can't have cameras everywhere, but you'll see me just go round, taking the pins out as I go, and catching the lining, making sure those pins lay flat. do you know what? If you're uncomfortable with doing any of this, then tack. I know it's old-fashioned, and I know you did it at school, and I know you hated your needlework teacher, but she did tacking for a reason. It stabilised all your bits, and there's nothing like a bit of stabilised bits. We all like a bit of that, so it was always done for a reason. Oh dear. Get told off by needlework teachers across the country. Anyway, here we are. Right, oh, Wendy says it's been snowing in Alberta. Have you had the snow where you live, Helena? Oh, now Helena's had terrible troubles. I thought it was rain that Helena had. Oh, Leon C. But you have a holiday home in Ipswich. Ah. Yes, I thought you were. Very hectic 2 weeks. Toronto to Vancouver. Oh, how super. My auntie lived in Vancouver, well, for donkeys. She was an artist. I'm sure I've told you this story before. She was an artist, and she lived in a static caravan, and she taught all the old ladies. Bear in mind she was 80 odd. She taught all the old ladies. Now I didn't use my little leader there because I've got the zip and the fabrics, and I couldn't have got my leader in there. Okay, so there are times when you can't use it very well, but instead of cutting your threads, I could have drew them out and cut them that way, but I chose not to. So that's you can see front and back. I've got a little tuck there, but I'll forgive myself for that. And we've done one side. Okay, so we've done one side, and it's just the same as a regular pouch, and then we just do the other side, and then we put the two together, and you know, Bob's your uncle. So so that's one side done. I quite like that red zip in there now. So let's put the pins in the other side. I know it's a bit tedious, but there we are. Oh, what's happened there? Just one moment. Just bear with while I just dump something off my screen. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Strange things happen. Right, so now it's just a case of making sure that you line it up the other side. So bring that out so you can see where your edge is. And then when you come to put, let's think, when you come to put this down, you're going to line that up as best you can. You know, it's not a competition on how close you get, as long as you get fairly close. And then all we're going to do is come to the other side and do exactly the same, so we know that they're lined up. If it doesn't line up, do not worry. Okay, do not worry. You can always trim. That's what you got scissors for trimming. I don't know why I've got a lot of ends there. Let's just snip that away. Okay, so we'll put some pins in now. Oh, excuse me, I'll have to have a little drink of me. Drink. So let's, what else? It does look great with the red zip. Oh, now we haven't snipped this side, and it does, like I said, it does. I hadn't put it in my instructions, but it does work a little better with a few snips in. All right, so we'll do that. And don't forget, you're only doing 1/8 of an inch. You don't need any more, to be honest. About 1/2 inch apart, 1/8 of an inch in, and it just makes it lie a little bit better. Try it with, try it without, and see what you like. See the difference. I'd love to see one made actually. Now don't forget, we've got our sewing. Well, actually, I'm going to change it to sew something special. Sewing something special. I'm going to change it to sew something special because I made a mistake. But you can't change it for another month once you. Oh, it's complicated. Anyway, you got that group to post your makes in. Okay, so don't forget to do that. If you make anything, whether it's my pattern or somebody else's pattern, you can post in that group. And if anybody wants to know what pattern it is you've used, all they have to do is message you, and I'm sure you can tell them whose pattern it was. And that's on a messenger. That's absolutely fine. We have to be sensible with these things, don't we? So I think that'll do. I'm not going to fuss. So then we're just going to go across to the other side. So we're just going to this side of the tape here, and then I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to line it up here. Yeah, so do post your makes in that group. It's kind of a lonely little group. It's got over 4,000 people as members, and we very, very rarely see anything. Carol West posted something the other day. Sarah Belongay, she's posted something in there the other day. I might have done, actually I was going to share this live and I forgot. So it's a nice little group to go and share your pictures and your makes. It's a lovely little place, very safe, because it's still a you still have to ask to join, but anybody, you can join anybody. So if one of your friends want to join, you can authorise it. I've got it so it's an open door policy. So it's a bit rough and ready, but you'll see that we don't need a huge amount of pins. As long as we've got it fairly well put together, we shouldn't go too far wrong, and we can poke it about a bit as we stitch it. Straighten it up. That's what I meant, not poke it about a bit. Oh, thanks, Nicola. Nicola's put my the link up for sewing something special. So now we're just going to zip around there, literally, and stitch the other side of the zip in. So, has everybody had their holidays yet this year, or are you still waiting to go on your holidays, or what? Tell me. Well, of course we know now that Carol has been to Canada, and I've been touring around England, it seems, and let's just get that lined up a bit better. Yeah, so tell me where you've been, what you've been doing, who have you been with? Have you been with the grandchildren somewhere, or have you stayed at home because it's been too hot, or have you had a weekend away? I was talking to a lady today who's going to Keswick on Thursday for 4 days. Totally envious of that, because I just love it there. And we had a good old chat about where she should go. I mean, I wasn't telling her what to do, but she knew already she wanted to go to some certain places, so I was chatting to her about that. And oh, it's super, really lovely, yeah, absolutely super. And it's good to plan, isn't it? It's good to plan, good to, you know, put a pin in the map. My sister's just on her way home from France. She's been away for, I suppose about 3 weeks in the motorhome. They've come back a bit early, so made that decision to come home. So she's on her way. She's on her way to the. She's going in the tunnel, isn't she? I think. So she's on her way back to the tunnel. Yeah, she tells me, and then of course I forget. I have no idea. But we're going to Kensington Palace next month. In fact, it's next Thursday we're going. Yeah, we're going to see all the dresses. There's an exhibition there with all the dresses. I don't know what dresses. Again, I just agreed. In fact, I said to her I'd like to go, and so she booked it, and I agreed. And I've forgotten now what it is I'm going to see. But I'm sure it's delightful. I'm sure it's wonderful. Out to Hebrides. Oh, that's our Jackie. Jill's flying to Croatia in the morning. 6 a.m. flight. Elaine's going to Tenby. Love Tenby. First time away in 4 years. Well, you jolly well enjoy it. Karen says she's got to wait until the August holidays. Oh, well, I mean, that's fair enough. You've got kiddies, haven't you? Anyway, look, we've done both sides. So if we turn it through, we've got the makings of a pouch here. Look, we're getting there. So the next thing I've got to do is stitch the little tabs, which I wanted to do straight away, and of course I forgot. Oh, where's my foot? Here it is. Let's put that on. Has anybody had an ice cream today? Not that I'm obsessed with ice creams. Well, I am actually. I found a new ice cream that is low in sugar, and it's vegan. Not that I'm vegan, but you know. And it's absolutely delicious. It really is super. And we've been enjoying that in a cone, not every evening. So that's been really lovely. And so what would be your favourite... oh, is it? Is it, Jackie? All right, that would be good fun. Diana's wedding dress. So what is your favourite ice cream? What would you have? It's got to be a Magnum, isn't it? Everybody loves a Magnum. So I'm just going down one side, and now I'm just going to flip it and come down the other side. Now if you're, because this is quite thin, if that goes down the hole when you're stitching, then use a leader, right? Or if you've got a straight stitch plate and you can change it, or start a little further in than you normally would. You can always back stitch. I do understand sometimes that it's very annoying, you lose the thing that you're trying to stitch, and it gets in a right mess, doesn't it? So anyway, so we've made the 2 tabs, and all I want to do now is to stitch the ends together so they're stable. So I'm just going to fold them in half, make a loop. Hold on guys, I've got a little thread there. And then I'm going to join them together. Now I'm going to use my leader, and I'm going to try and get it so it butts up. I'm going to use my stiletto so it gets my fingers out of the way, and we'll see if that doesn't, because I don't want them to move basically. So yeah, that's fine. So I'll do a little back stitch just to hold, and then I'll take the other one, got a little loop, and I'll butt that up quite tight against the other one, and then back stitch. And I will just cut my threads on that one. So, and you can change this after a while. So just get your scissors in there and snip. It's only a holding stitch really, it's not construction, it's not going to hold the thing together, so don't worry about cutting a few threads, and you know, just neaten that up a little bit. There we go. Right, so we've got them 2 little loops, and they go either end, which is super. Right, so the next bit, let me just have a quick look at my instructions. Like that, yeah. So I'm going to cut my zip so it fits. I'm going to just bring my slider up. Now I do recommend that you either top stitch or you give that a quick iron. I think I might give mine a quick iron. Because then you need the lining to steer clear of your zip, and a good press will do that, or a top stitch, but I don't want to top stitch. I've got the quilting, and it's not part of the pattern, so I'm not going to top stitch, but obviously you can, so let's just switch the iron on. I just want to make sure that lining is out of the way, and what we can do is open that up, but you don't want to slide it off the end. See that? Is that caught? Oops. Yeah. So just keep your eye on that. So just make sure that you're not coming off the end there, okay? Let's give it a little snip. And I'm just going to iron that to keep that lining away. It's very important. And a good press will do that, and it will keep it away. The fold in that you're pressing, it's a little bit memory, you know, it's got a memory to it, let's say, and it will not get in your way. But if you leave it lumpy bumpy where you haven't ironed it, then it's more likely to catch in the zip. But do top stitch. You know, although it's not part of this particular pattern, there's no reason why you can't top stitch. Just go you know, you're on a curve, so just go steady, but just get the iron in there and push that lining out of the way. Oh, what was that? Oh, it's me. Ooh, felt like a spider going up my leg. I'm not bothered about spiders, but it was tickling my leg. Then I thought it was perhaps Millie. I think she's with John. Yeah. So it all helps. Let's do this side. Quick, quick, quick. Not too bad. The iron's not on super hot, so which is fine. And then we're nearly done, to be honest. Nearly done. Let's get that like that. It's lovely. Oh, it's looking really pretty. I love the red zip. Right. Okay, so like I said, we're going to trim. Let's put that together like that. We're going to trim that zip back. There's my big scissors. Here we go. So it's level with that seam there. Okay. Let's see how that looks. And then on this side, let's just bring it together a bit more. Again, you can snip it. And in the pattern I've said to stitch it. So let's do that, because it's on curves. It's a bit unwielding. It wants to do its it wants to do its own thing. So we'll just shove it under the machine or hand stitch and just bring that zip ends together, okay? And then we'll put our tabs on. So let's just change the view. Oh, let's have a look, Carol. Just had ice cream for dessert. Ah, now I think that's what we have, Carol. Is it white? I think that's what we have, love. Yeah. It's delish. It really is. Right, so like I said, it's a bit fiddly because it's on the curve. But, tell it who's boss. Get it under your machine. And there we go. Right, here we go. And back. And forward. And back. And that will do. So I'll show you. So it's just joining the ends together like that. It's not too bad, is it? So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our tabs over the top of that. So I'm going to get my tab and I'm just going to pop it in the centre of my zip like that. And then I'm going to put a little basting stitch in there so it holds. So let's do that. See, once you've basted these things, then you've got your hands free then, aren't you? So let's just... So one tab in, okay. So we go around the other side and pop that in the centre of the zip, so it's really easy. You can see where it goes. Really easy. I can't remember what the next stage is. Let me have a look. Oh right, yeah, I do know now. Okay, just stitch that. Do a little back stitch so it holds a bit more. There we go. Oh, we're just past 8 o'clock, so I do apologise. That's because I was a slow starter, wasn't I? Talking about my holidays and all sorts of rubbish, I expect. Let me just trim my threads. Oh, excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. Oh, Adrienne had some frogs in her garden. I don't know where they got the tadpoles from. I think William got them from somewhere, and they became frogs while they were away. Oh, and she's got a real thing about frogs. Right, so that's what we've got so far. Yeah, got the zip in, we've got our tabs on. So now you're going to make it like, you're going to stitch it like you normally would. So you're putting your right sides together and you're stitching along the straight end now. So let's just get that out of the way. So you've got along on the pattern, let me show you. You've got this bottom edge, and this is what we're stitching now, this bottom straight seam, okay? So you might want to put some pins in. Okay, and you're also going to stitch the lining, so you can bring that lining around. You're going to leave a turning gap in the lining. I mean, it looks a bit, bit of a muddle, but all you've got to remember is it's the same as any other pouch. It's right sides together and you're leaving a turning gap in the lining. So don't overthink it. Okay, so we'll just put a couple of pins in, because these are long pins, I'm kind of threading them in and out. And the turning gap I'm going to leave on the lining there. Okay, so it's along here, along there with a turning gap. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And this is what it looks like if I do it properly. So it looks like a tea cosy. Okay, so we'll shove that under the machine. Let's do that. And all the time it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I mean, if you do a bit more, you know, it's 3/8, yeah, 3/8 on the zip. 5/8, no, 4/5/8, 3/8. There we go. So all the way along that bottom straight edge. Take your pins out. You can use clips on this because it's a bit thicker. Where's me? I've lost my lead. Oh, there it is under there, that tucked away. Okay, so that's my first one done. So that's the bottom edge of that. So now I'm going to do the bottom edge of my lining, but I'm leaving that gap, okay? So I'll put that under. And we're going to stitch about maybe 3 inches. Do a little back stitch. Break your threads. And then just make sure everything is sitting really nice and flat. Did we close the zip? Oh, did anybody notice? Because that could be tricky. I just remembered that. Is a zip slider up this end? No. Let's just assume we've left it open. I can't remember. We'll worry about it later. Oh yeah, the UK trip was fabulous, and you had your grandson's wedding. This is Helena. It was still lovely. I used to go on the horse riding holidays before I was married. I think this is the Isle of Wight. Stayed in a lovely hotel in Ventnor. This time, happy memories of youth. Oh, wonderful. Ah, Carol says, yes, it is that ice cream. Oh, you found a raspberry one. Oh, I haven't found the raspberry one. I shall have to have a look. Right, okay, quick. Because I'm keeping you now. So we've got to just turn it through. We've got to hope for... Oh, I haven't left much of a turning gap. Oh, heck, what was I thinking? Hopefully I've left the zip open. I can't remember. If I haven't, it doesn't matter. Worst things happen at sea, as they say. Oh yeah, I have left it open. So, turn it through. I'd have wondered what that was, wouldn't I? I'd be saying, where's my leader gone? It's in your pouch. Oh, nice, Carol. So Carol's saying she's found another place for vegan ice cream. How wonderful. Now look, you're going to have these ends, which are raw edges, okay? And you could bind these, but all we're going to do tonight is to stitch across. And you can zigzag, you know, like a satin stitch almost, to neaten them up. But all you're going to do is keep your tabs tucked in. Keep your tabs tucked in, and you're just going to straighten those two seams out, those two edges, if you like. So your tab is going to be lined up with your bottom seam, okay, and it's going to be a raw edge on your right side of your lining. But like I say, you could bind it, or you can zigzag it and leave it as that, okay? Don't put it under your overlocker because you've got a zip going on there. So we're just going to stitch right across. So it's just the same as a regular pouch, okay? So we're just going to pop that under the machine. There's quite a lot of bulk there. I haven't made a good job of whether it's all lovely and flat inside. I would normally do that, but we're kind of up against the clock now. That's the zip, that's fine. So normally I would check to make sure, oh sorry, that my all my layers were laying flat inside, but look, I've just stitched right across there. You can see it better that side. Okay, and then I will zigzag that later. So then we're going to do the same on the other side. So you're just lining it up. So make sure your tab is tucked inside, it's not outside. And you're just squaring that up like you normally would with a pouch, you know, with a boxy bottom. And we'll just make sure that that end is there. I'm not sure if it was the other end actually. Let's hope it was. Let's trust the process. We'll see when we turn it through. So you're just stitching across the corner there. Let's just try and get that in a bit better. Oh, get me tab tucked in, that's it. Sorry, I've got me lining mucking about here. Let's get that squared up. That's it, I think we're all right now. I'm going to chance my arm and hope that it's okay. You'd spend more time a little bit, I think, making sure it is. And you're going to do back stitches as well. I haven't, but I'm going to go back and do a satin stitch on that so it's lovely and neat. And it's secure as well. So let's just get my big scissors. There we go. And I'm going to leave my turning gap open for the moment just in case I need to go in there and tidy it up. But then all you're going to do is push that through. Oh, you can see it on there, okay. I haven't quite caught it there, so I should go back on that. And then on this side as well. There we go, that's better, that one's fine, look, it's nice and neat. And there you have, and it needs a good press now, there you have your pouch. So let me show you on the overhead. So there you have your pouch. It's all done, looking quite beautiful, and it's made that lovely curved sort of semicircle design with a nice boxy bottom. So you've got a nice end to your ends, and you've got something to grab hold of. So when you're doing this zip, you've got that tab to hold on to pull that zip, and then when you want to close it, you've got that tab there that you can get hold of and pull it that way. So it works out very well. And if you put a bit of makeup in there, when we've stitched that turning gap, it lies almost flat. Now, I could pull that zip a bit further, but it lies almost flat. Just give that a nice press. It's crying out for a press. But I've got to stitch my turning gap. So there we are. There's our lovely little make. And I think you'll agree it's a really nice little make because it's the fabric, isn't it? It's the fabric that makes it. So when you look in your stash, look for something really bright and jolly, something that perhaps you wouldn't normally use, and you've kind of got it in there and you don't know what to do with it. Then use it for something like this, and it's only small. I mean, when you open it up, you've got quite a bit of sheepage going on, but generally it's just a lovely make, and I'd like to see some made. That is our easy peasy pouch. So I hope you enjoyed the last hour. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just been really fun. I'm live in my Creative Friends group on Thursday, where we're going to have a look at a technique. I'm not sure what it is yet. I should put my brain into gear. Suggestions, I'm all open to suggestions. And we'll have a fun time doing a little bit of stitching, a little bit of something for an hour in the Creative Friends group. So I hope you can join me there on Thursday at 7. And then we start a new month, and so Kath and I will be putting our heads together of our diaries and make sure that our calendars are full. We start the 12 days of summer, flowers in the sunshine, which is this lovely quilt here. We start that, and that's all free in my Creative Friends group. We're going 12 nights. We're going to put this together. That starts on the 21st of July, and then on the 1st of August we start a personal challenge, and I think they overlap. In fact, they do overlap, but that's okay. We start a personal challenge in the Creative Friends for the 31 days of August. Every day we've got a little tiny project to do, tiny. Yeah, so you can, if you miss out, then you can always catch up. Right, thank you very much. It's been absolutely fun being with you. It's been great having my holiday, but then it's always great to come back refreshed, renewed, invigorated, something like that. And for my creative friends, I'll see you Thursday. For the rest of you, I'll see you at some point next month. We haven't got the diary out yet, but I shall certainly post a timetable so you know. If not, why not join us in Creative Friends and see what we get up to, because we do quite a few little bits and pieces really. Great value for money. Don't forget also, if you haven't bought Kath's pouch, which is called Meadow, and it's got some fabulous reverse applique on it, then go and buy that. I made mine slightly smaller so I can have a really big flower on the front. And also on the 11th of July I start the workshop for the FPP butterfly, so if you want to join that, that's in the shop as well. So thank you very much for joining me. I shall see you all soon. Have a really lovely evening. It's been an absolute treat, as I said, being with you. It's always great fun. We've had lots of viewers tonight, which is really good. Feels like the old times. Actually, so many people have stripped back, gone back to basics. There's Abigail has, I know. There's also one or two other ladies I know that have done that, that have kind of gone back, you know, taken some of the stuff away and thought, right, let's just regroup here. If you remember what it was like in COVID, we all entertained you for that year at least, and we just had fun, didn't we? And it didn't matter what we did, but we just all had fun. Well, that's why I think everybody's trying to get back to that feeling of camaraderie, because you know what, it's been and gone somewhere. Somewhere it's gone. I don't know where, don't know when. Right, I shall see you very, very soon. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Bye-bye, everybody.